I'm Michelle Bernstein. Welcome to South Florida, where legacy is on a plate. South Florida is home to the beautiful beaches, swaying palm trees, and legendary neighborhoods that tell the story of its unique diversity and charm. It's also home to iconic culinary institutions whose kitchens have helped shape its history. The South Florida culinary scene is a story of immigration, innovation, and extraordinary flavors. Hi, I'm Michelle Bernstein, and welcome to Legacy on a Plate. Join me as I visit the iconic restaurants that have shaped South Florida history, one plate at a time. Let's dig in.
This program is made possible by Friends of South Florida PBS.
Today we're in beautiful West Palm Beach visiting the legendary Okeechobee Steakhouse. Founded in 1947 as the Okeechobee Drive-In by Ralph and Norma Lewis, the restaurant's concept evolved into the premier steakhouse it's known for today, thanks to the foresight of Ralph and Norma's son, Curtis Lewis. Today, Curtis and his son Ralph continue at the helm of the steakhouse, along with the younger generations of the Lewis family.
My name is Curtis Lewis. I'm second generation owner of the Okeechobee Steakhouse. My parents started it in 1947 as Okeechobee Drive-In. We were a small little place, did curb service in that Okeechobee Road. It was a little two-lane highway that was just big enough for two cars to go down. We served curb service and inside. We were so far out of town, we used to have to go pick up our meat. Nobody delivered this far out. We had to go pick up everything. Bread, milk, produce, meat at Smith Richardson, Conroy at the time. And we've come a long way since, and so has West Palm Beach. I've lived here all my life. West Palm Beach is, I think, one of the greatest places there is to live. And my son and my grandkids and my nephews and that have been a great help in our business. And we've been a family-run business. And, you know, I was always hoping that some of them would come into the business, and Ralph finally did.
My name is Ralph Lewis, and I am a third-generation proprietor, my wife Laura and I, of Okeechobee Steakhouse. We're in charge of everything, so we are at the helm now, running and taking it to the next generation. There's actually 4 generations of us step on the property every day, still to this day. My father, when he took it over, you know, he moved it in a new direction, and I believe that's why we're here today. And at this point now, it's trying to keep the culture, the feel, and the nostalgia of when you walk into the building, you feel like you're walking into a time capsule back into 1950s old school steakhouse.
Hey, Ralph.
Hey,
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
This is
Forward to it.
a great kitchen. It's funny, you said it was tight, but I think it's pretty big.
It's small for the volume we do, but
Yeah.
hey, when you're in a 78-year-old building, you learn to make do with what you have.
So I know you're cooking a steak for me today.
Right.
What are we cooking today?
We're cooking a prime, dry age.
Show everybody this beautiful piece
So
of meat.
this steak, we just put it on. It's incredible. Listen, it comes with its own handle, which is the best part. But this steak is a prime, dry-aged, long-bone tomahawk. And we age it in our own dry aging rooms. We cut it, hand cut it, our own meat cutters. By the way, our meat cutter's been here 24 years, cuts about 4,000 pounds a week of steak for us. So we will put the steaks on the grill.
Okay.
And I like to get a good mark, some sear, and I get it almost to temp. And then I like to finish it on the upright broiler.
So this is beautiful.
So we're gonna get this ready.
Okay.
And then the next thing is for us to enjoy this wonderful, wonderful steak. Thank you, Angelo. By the way, this my nephew Angelo, fourth generation.
Amazing.
We're so proud that that all of us can work here.
So how old is the youngest generation, the fifth?
He is in his early 20s. Wow. So yeah.
My goodness, and that is your
Grandson.
That is your grandson.
My daughter's son. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah. So
How lovely.
Yeah.
It must give you like goosebumps to know that y'all started something that will remain in the family. Hopefully just keep on going, right?
Yeah, my goal is to hit the 100-year mark. Got 22 more years, but I'm hoping I can hang in there.
I think you can do
Yeah,
it. I think it's amazing. All right, what should I start with first?
Okay, so let me help you. I will take care of it. I always serve the ladies
first. You
first.
gonna eat with me a little bit?
Yes, I certainly will. Let me get you some of this wonderful pieces here.
Thank you.
And
So tell me something. I know this is a really beautiful place with probably very upscale people. Do people pick up that bone and nibble on
I've
it?
seen people pick it up, and sometimes if their kids are with them, you'll see the little kids pick it up. We try to get a candid photo because nothing's better than looking at a little child, especially a little girl who grabs those bones and just attack them. So,
Like, oh, there's their corn, the
So
famous
this
corn.
is our famous creamed corn. You definitely have to try this.
Absolutely.
A little bit of smoked
I see that.
pork belly on top.
That
And
is
I
beautiful.
definitely gotta have some of this myself. I never get tired of this. Never gets old.
Believe it or not, cream spinach is one of the things I cannot do without.
So that is such a staple, as you know, in steakhouses,
ever.
old school classic.
But do you know what I
And,
love that
thank
I'm
you.
watching right now?
I'm good.
Is that this is all fresh.
It's all
You know a lot of
fresh.
steakhouses use frozen spinach? Well, that's not. I can tell.
okay.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, everything you've done here, and look at all these sauces and the butter. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, I got to try it.
So we will dig in. Tell me
I mean,
what
I've
you
been
think.
here before, and I absolutely loved it. Even your knives are beautiful.
Of
Wow.
course.
Are these, obviously, these are just made for y'all, right?
Yeah. We have them engraved, and they cut so well because they're heavy to the front, you know, so
Right.
it makes it, but
It's so good.
I never get tired of this.
How could you? My goodness. It's so good. Wow. Listen, cheers to you and your whole
you.
family
It's wonderful.
and what y'all have done here. Thank you for making an institution for us to really feel proud of.
Well, thank you for
is
taking
beautiful.
the time, and we look forward to the 6th generation coming on board.
Me too. Me too. Maybe you'll use my son as a busboy one day.
Just have him come in.
After putting down my steak knife, I'm ready to make my way to Homestead, the agricultural hub that for the past 70 years has been home to one of South Florida's most beloved family destinations. With their delicious shakes and line-worthy cinnamon rolls, this farm transcended its roadside stand beginnings to become an iconic South Florida experience. We native South Floridians can't wait until strawberry season begins.
My name is Thomas Blocker. I have been the bakery manager at Knaus Berry Farm for the last 40 years. The beginning starts about 1924 when two Knaus brothers from Missouri came to Miami to help with the building boom. That lasted for a few years. A hurricane came through, and that kind of stopped that process. They went back to their agricultural roots, went not too far from here, out by Miami Speedway, and started raising produce. And they were successful at that for several years, successful enough that they were able to build a couple of houses. And the founders of Knaus Berry Farm were born in this area. The American dream probably wasn't something they had in the back of their minds. They were young men just trying to make a living. However, if you look at their history and what they've done, obviously it's an American dream. You started with nothing. You were able to build on that and make an establishment where people would be responsive to what you did, and actually word of mouth carried them on. And that was only because they were hardworking and diligent and honest. Well, we're kind of talking about generational tradition, and you will find that if you interview some of the people, they're going to tell you their parents brought them, they brought their children, they remember their grandparents bringing them, and they want to share that same experience with their children. The other thing is, especially early on when we open up and it's been a few months before anybody's had anything, there seems to be this desire to have bragging rights, to say that you waited in line, and not only bragging rights that you waited in line, they actually brag about how long they waited. So I can't explain it, it happens, and we're glad that it does. The bakery was a second thought. They didn't intend to do a bakery, it was all about farming. Someone suggested after tasting my mother-in-law's cookies, maybe she could sell the cookies at their little roadside stand that they had set up. She did that, and it totally evolved over years from like 60 through today.
So Thomas, we are where the magic happens.
This is the magic.
This is incredible. I don't want to take too long in here because I know everybody's moving. About how many of these cinnamon buns do we go through in a day? Do you know?
Yeah, a lot. That's the standard answer,
Should we say thousands?
You probably could.
Yeah.
Depends on the day.
Right. So when did the sticky bun happen? Because now they're selling, you guys are selling these all over the country now.
Yeah.
And people wait in line. I mean, this is really what we are all about down here.
Yeah. This is all word of the mouth. There was no advertising, nothing of the sort. They just opened up the doors, people came in, they liked the product, and we're just trying to meet demand.
No, they love the product.
Okay, they love the product. All right.
I have been standing in this line since I was this high.
Yeah.
I mean, this means so much to all of us in Miami.
You know how often we hear that story? All the time. And generation
I know.
after generation. Not only is it a generational business, but the people that come, we hear that. My parents brought me, my grandparents brought me. We want to bring our kids, and so the tradition continues. I have always enjoyed seeing the smiles on the faces, whether they come to the grounds and they throw out a blanket or they get on one of the tables. We've had people bring tents. We've had people bring stadium chairs, and they just enjoy being in that area. And I think it's the satisfaction that I see or have seen from the people that come that's probably the most satisfying thing that I've had.
Thomas, you're the best. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
This is 1-2 times with us, and you've been here multiple times before over your...
I come as long as I possibly can, as many times as I can a year.
Yeah.
I love it here. I love your family.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
thank goodness y'all are still putting it out. I don't know how you do it, but it's really wonderful.
There's a little bit of love inside.
Just a little.
A little bit.
Just a
They
little
enjoy
bit.
what they're doing,
Yeah.
and we're happy to do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Appreciate
Can't
it.
wait for next time. I'm gonna wait
Okay.
in line now and get my bun,
All
like
right.
everybody else.
Okay,
Thank
enjoy.
you. No better way to end the day here at Knaus Berry Farm than, of course, a warm, just-baked sticky bun and chase it down with some strawberry milkshake. And I'm going to take the rest here to my neighbors. Southwest 40th Street, better known as Bird Road, is not only an east to west connecting vein that stretches the distance of a half marathon, it's also home to the place that for over 65 years has turned a quintessential American delight into a serious culinary sport. Arbetter's hot dogs. I'm excited. Hey, Dave.
Hey, Michelle.
How you doing?
Good to see you. Come on in.
You
Have
got
a seat.
it. I'm excited about this.
Oh my gosh, great to see you.
It's good to see you.
What do you want today? My name is Dave Arbetter, and I am the owner of Arbetter's Hot Dogs in Miami, Florida. We've been in business since 1958, and we've been in this location since 1970. It's a family-run restaurant. It's always been a family-run place. I'm second generation. My mom's from Italy, moved over here when she was little. My dad was from Boston, Mass. My dad came down after the Korean War. Came down here, went to University of Miami on the GI Bill, and that's where he met my mom. My dad's dream when he was young, his dad was a doctor, but his dream was to open up a hot dog place. And eventually he did after he graduated from University of Miami.
So let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Did you change anything since your dad left this to you?
I've added the soubrette dog. We added the soubrette dog about 15 years ago. The sausage dog we've added. Corn dogs were added in the 80s. When my dad first started, he was simplicity personified. And his thing was KISS, keep it simple, stupid. To us, it's a gourmet experience, okay? Now, a hot dog is loved so much because it's been around before the hamburger even. You know, they always say, what's America? Hot dog, apple pie, and Chevrolet, okay? But the hot dog is the first one there. And the hot dog, people don't know if it's a sandwich, they don't know if it's a meal, but they know it's fun. And I always say here, if you can't have fun in this business, probably you should get out of this business.
Surely a place that has been serving the best dogs since 1959 has amassed a legion of devoted fans. Today we're meeting one of them, the Bestia. There you go, Seth.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Tell me what it is you're ordering.
I was about to say I didn't even know you worked here, but...
I don't. Only today. Only today.
Well, these are the cheese fries. I used to work at Luria's across the street from here, and I would come on my lunch break, 30 minutes, you know, you run over here, grab something to eat, go back. I would eat cheese fries. Later on, when I discovered the chili, I moved on to the chili cheese fries. But
So
I just
how
did this
long?
as a little nostalgic.
But how long have you been coming here?
Early 80s, 82, so I would have been 7 or 8 years old.
What does it feel to you to have a restaurant like this with so much history in your own little town?
I don't think I really appreciated it until I got older, right? You just visit family in another city and they don't have that. And then you come here and it's not only, you know, Arbetter's, it's just this strip of Bird Road is very nostalgic. You know, there's Bird Bowl, even the dry cleaning place has been here.
I grew up at Bird. This is my area as well. You know, I mean, I'm not from here. I'm from a little bit further north, but everybody I feel that was part of the original, the OG Miami gang,
Right.
we would come here for something. You know, definitely the hot dog was a big part of it here at Arbetter's, but everything around here just feels so historic for me.
What I love about Arbetter's is the fact that we don't have burgers. I had a guy come in one day and he's like, "You're doing a great job, buddy, but you should add grouper sandwich." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? That's like the most insane thing I've ever heard." We keep it simple, even though we have so many different combinations. That's the genius of Arbetter's. But to me, that's how you have to be. You have to care more about your business almost than anything. But what happens is the business ends up giving you everything in the world back, everything you need. All you have to do is give it everything it needs first. I hope Arbetter's is around for 100 years. That's my goal. It is a real family affair here. To us, it's a gourmet experience.
No trip to Southwest Miami would be complete without a stop to the restaurant that's been serving authentic Cuban home cooking to generations of South Floridians and tourists alike. Second generation owner Nancy Andrade and her children, Eileen and Jonathan Andrade, can guarantee that when you walk into Islas Canarias, you'll be greeted by friendly faces, delicious food, heartwarming cafecito, and the best ham croquetas you'll ever have. And trust me, it's not an exaggeration. They are that good. And here's a pro tip. Squeeze some lime on that croqueta.
Hi, I'm Nancy.
I'm Eileen.
And I'm Jonathan Andrade.
My parents came in 1969 from Cuba. My father had 5 small restaurants with his brother. And when the regime came, they took everything away. So we came here in 1969. My parents had to start from zero. After that, my father owned different small cafeterias, which were not very successful until we opened at Dating in 1972. After that, we opened Islas, Canarias on 27th Avenue in 1977. And 10 years later, we opened in Crowway in 137th Avenue, which is where we are right now.
I was in fashion school and I was working with a stylist as an intern, and I wasn't making enough money. So I told my mom I need a job. And she said, okay, well, if you're going to work at the restaurant, you have to learn all the positions and eventually you'll find what you like most. And what I liked most was cooking and leading the team, which I think were 2 of the important things that you have to have if you want to own a restaurant. And the more I started to work within the restaurant, the more I loved it. I opened up a food truck with my brother, Jonathan, called Cuban Cube. And that was really the inception of just like finding out my love for this industry.
So I came into my role kind of like how my sister said, I would always see how stressful this job was, looking at my mom and my dad, working late nights and always seemed to be preoccupied with something. And I was like, man, that's not for me, right? But as I got older, we needed help with the croqueta making. The demand was increasing and increasing. I was going to school at the time. And then my mom was like, hey, look, I need help with making the croquetas. I only trust you with the recipe. So could you help out? And I was like, of course. The same way she told my sisters, hey, you need to learn from the ground up. So I started doing, inventory, learning in the kitchen, in the back, cleaning, dishwashing, all that stuff. And from then on, manager, and kind of just learning every role in the restaurant business so that, it's kind of how my grandfather did it too.
When you are in service, right, and you see everything and your son and your daughter and everybody's working, do you ever take a step back and think, wow, look what we've built?
Oh, yes.
Look at this beautiful 50-year. It's just such an institution. I mean, I can't think of a better café con leche and croqueta and experience, honestly, than coming here. I love how the servers are dressed. It's a little old school and a little bit new school. How does that feel to have that beautiful history within your family?
I am so proud of my kids. I am sure that my father and my mom would be very proud of them. It's such a legacy that they left, hard work and dedication, that I'm so extremely proud of them. And I'm happy that they're right here with us. We always think of the customer first, and quality is our #1 concern. So everything I do, the new dishes that I do are just from traditional Cuban recipes.
All right, let's talk Cuban sandwich. One of the most important staples in Cuban cuisine, at least here in South Florida. No salami, right?
No.
I'm just throwing it out there.
We're not
I know. Let's talk a little bit about a perfect Cuban sandwich. You want to take this one?
Sure. So, perfect Cuban sandwich needs to have obviously ham, pork, mustard, pickles, cheese. The bread is very important. We make the bread at our bakery. So, yeah, we make our bread in our bakery. We roast the lechon here. We cook the ham here as well. And everything is sliced. We don't buy, sliced cheese. Everything is done in-house. Everything is extremely fresh, obviously pressed to order. And yeah, it's similar to like a croqueta in the sense that all the ingredients are homemade and fresh. And that's what makes every dish delicious, right?
But don't you think the amount of every ingredient is it's one of the most, to me, it's like the most important part is the balance of how much ham, how much cheese, how much lechon, right? Because if it's too much lechon, it takes away. Because the lechon is sazonado, it has sazon, which is the flavor. But if you have a little too much, you can't taste the ham.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes. It's a type of...
Is this actually cheese that's crusted on? Is this new? Did you guys always do that?
It's just if you're lucky,
I'm just gonna say I don't remember having cheese.
I'll make sure it happens next time.
Okay, I'm gonna ask for this next time I come here. I'm gonna tell them that you served it to me with the cheese on the outside, crispy, crunchy. Y lo quiero así.
Okay.
I want it like this every time.
My parents were so grateful for this country that opened the doors for us to have freedom of speech and opportunity to become whatever we're able to become.
Your family means so much to Miami, to Florida, to the cuisine, of Cuba, of your family. So thank you, because you've given us all memories and history and just deliciousness.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here next to you.
Linda, thank you.
We love you, and we're so
love you all.
honored to have you here.
I love it. And I love being able to be part of this multi-generational family
Thank you.
and restaurant. Thank you guys. Thank you. Hola.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, ¿y vos?
Bien.
Un café con leche, por favor.
¿Café con leche?
Un toquecito de azúcar.
¿Lo quieres claro o oscuro?
Claro, por favor. Gracias. So the question always is, do you want it light? Do you want it dark? Claro is light, oscuro is dark. And if you don't say anything, they will give it to you with sugar. A lot of sugar. It's delicious. Muchas gracias. Perfecto. Uf.
Acá está la servilleta para tomarla.
No visit to Miami is complete without a cup of café con leche. When Monroe Udell founded Jaxson's Ice Cream Parlor and Restaurant in 1956, he had one clear goal: to consistently serve every customer the best homemade ice cream and food. Fast forward to today, this Dania Beach icon not only continues to deliver on Monroe's goal, but with his daughter Linda Zackheim running its operations, new generations of customers can indulge in its nostalgic flair and Americana decor. Thank you. Woo! One scoop at a time. Woo-hoo!
So a little bit of history that people don't know about Jaxson's is that my dad was from Connecticut, and his family moved from Connecticut in the early 1940s to Hollywood. My grandparents had several restaurants in Connecticut, and that's what they did. So when they got here, they looked for a place. They landed on Hollywood Beach on Johnson Street, right on the boardwalk. And it was called Harry's Good Food. So my father and his brother worked for their parents for many years. And one summer, my father met my mother. She came down with a family from Brooklyn. They asked if she would be their au pair type of babysitter for the summer, and she was happy to come. And that summer, my parents met while my dad was working at the restaurant. After a while, they decided that they wanted to open up their own restaurant. And my grandfather's best friend said to my dad, "You have to incorporate ice cream." He had gone to ice cream school, and he was making all the ice cream for all the restaurants and hotels in Miami Beach. So my dad went to ice cream school, he came back, and he just got into it. He loved it, and he started tweaking all the recipes that he learned, and he came up with his own proprietary secret recipes that we still use today. What brought him to Dania Beach was there was a crazy flood that came in the late 1940s, and it came all the way as far as the east side of Federal Highway. And Federal Highway at that time was the only thoroughfare between Palm Beach and Dade County. And my dad, being familiar with New York and Connecticut, knew that to be successful, you had to have storefront property. And this shopping center had just been built, so he decided to open up here in Dania Beach. The only problem was you couldn't get a business license if you were African American or Jewish, and we were from Jewish descent. So we had to stay under the radar, not tell anybody, but he had to come up with a good Southern name. And all the streets in Hollywood were named after presidents. And my grandparents actually lived on Monroe Street, and it was a coincidence with my father's name being Monroe. But there was Taft Street, Wilson Street, Harding Street, and then he saw Jaxson, President Jaxson, and he loved it. He loved the J name. He loved that it sounded a little, ice cream parlor-ish. But what my dad did, what he always does, is he put his twist on it, X marks the spot, and he came up with the name Jaxson's. And as soon as the Jim Crow laws lifted, my father continued to hire people of color
Whoever came in and needed a job were the people that were getting the job. He didn't look at color, ethnic background, religion. It was just whoever wanted to work is who he hired. In today's world, some of the challenges in running a family-owned business is just really finding managers who care and love the restaurant as much as we do. It's not just a job for me, it's my life, it's my legacy, it's my dad's vision. And I'm here today because of him, and I want to make sure that we do things the way he wanted it. And there's no one else that would better do it his way than me, because I know his way. To me, that's the American dream. If you work hard and you stay focused, you can be very successful.
So talk to me about a little bit about the candy, because I love that you walk in and you're greeted with all this kind of old school candy that I haven't seen in a really long time. In fact, I didn't even know they still made some of this stuff.
Yeah, this
right?
is our old school candy and toy store. And it has been a challenge. A lot of the old time candy stores have been closing down. So sometimes we can't get certain items. So this is what we have now, and it's very popular. People love it. All the candy in the barrels, we bag ourselves every day. So it's extremely fresh, yes. It's so fresh.
That's so smart.
That we say, and we only bag what we need because we can make more daily.
Right. And it feels so soft.
It's so soft. I always tell everyone, you're never gonna have a gummy bear this soft because it hasn't been sitting in a bag.
Right. I'm gonna have to take some for my son later. This is amazing, but I haven't seen some of this stuff in a really long time.
We have the pop rocks and we have the candy nececklaces.
This has me crazy.
Yoo-hoo candy bars.
I didn't even know that even existed.
These are my absolute favorite, the gold mines. I don't remember those.
No, actually, I do
and the
not
bubble
remember
gum,
that.
the bubble gum, and the Tootsie Rolls.
This is amazing.
So we do.
Linda, this is so cool.
We have so much fun, but this is the first thing people see and they love it.
Right.
We have the violets and the chowders.
Amazing.
Even chuckles.
Wow.
The Necco wafers are actually, they became extinct and somebody just bought the company and they're now making the Necco rolls again.
At Jaxson's, you can truly get a little bit of everything, even the kitchen sink.
Wow.
Oh my goodness gracious.
That's a beautiful one.
That is insane. So no visit is complete at Jaxson's without the kitchen sink.
Thank you.
This is beautiful, Linda.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And the whole idea about the sink was for families to gather together to celebrate the wow effect. It was something that you couldn't duplicate because it's in an actual kitchen sink, and Jaxson's actually has the trademark on this sink. So nobody else can copy it. They could call it a kitchen sink, but they cannot make it in our sink.
I love the sense of humor throughout all of Jaxson's, and I love that you've continued your amazing dad's legacy. Congratulations. This place has always been a huge part of history in South Florida, and thank goodness that you and your family are continuing this incredible multi-generational restaurant. I'm so happy that it's here and happy that it's just as good as it always was.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you.
Thank you. Nestled in the heart of Miami's vibrant Little Haiti neighborhood is Clive's Café. Founded in the 70s by Jamaican immigrants Pearline and Clifford Murray, Clive's has cemented its place in Miami's culinary story, thanks to its founders' commitment to authentic Jamaican flavors. Yum.
Hey Michelle, how you doing?
What's up, Dwayne?
I'm good.
Thank you for having me.
Come on, let's go inside.
All right, you got it. Wow, this is beautiful. When you walk into Clive's, you will still find founder Perlane Murray at the takeout window. Hey, Miss P.
And how are you?
Good, how you doing? Can I order a jerk chicken, please?
With pleasure.
Thank you so much. And in the kitchen is Perlane's sister, Gloria, who is still preparing all the traditional favorites. Their grandson, Dwayne, joins me at the table today, filled not only with pride for his family and legacy, but also fresh Scotch bonnet chilies from his garden. Dwayne.
Yes, Michelle.
What a pleasure.
Same here.
This is great. This place is beautiful. It's so clean. And all you can smell is the jerk chicken.
Thank you.
Or is that jerk pork that I smell out here?
That's jerk chicken.
That's jerk chicken.
Yes.
So y'all have some smokers outside, I saw,
We
right?
do.
And tell me about the lady that's in the kitchen right now.
In the kitchen, that is my grandma, Gloria. She's a firecracker, I can tell you that much. But she is definitely the life of the restaurant.
Are all these her recipes?
Yeah.
Every single thing, everything.
Everything.
Unbelievable.
Of course, you know, I'm third generation here, but from what I do know, when they first came here, they did not originate as a Jamaican restaurant.
And what did they originate as?
They just came here.
Just cooking.
Just cooking. And it wasn't even Jamaican food, they were just making sandwiches and stuff. And then one day they said they just transitioned, boom.
Wow.
And the Jamaican food is what actually took off. And from there, that's when they just stuck to it and they said, you know what, we're gonna bring our roots to Miami.
Yeah.
And they continued from there.
And your grandmother's sister, your great aunt, is the one who you take.
Miss Pearl,
Miss Pearl,
Miss P. She has a lot of names. We
and
call
you
her
order
Sweet
food
Tea.
from Miss P. Oh, Sweet
Yes.
Tea.
Yeah.
I love it. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So how did you get started in this business? I'm gonna taste some
I've been
food, by
around
the way.
from birth. I like to say I was born in here.
You probably were born in here.
Yeah. So it's like I was always baked in the aroma of the recipes.
So do you know how to make all this?
I do.
How does it feel to have an all-family, 3-generation institution like this one?
It's surreal. The older I get, the more I value it, honestly, because, you know, first coming out of high school, it's like, my family owns a restaurant. In elementary, it was like, you know, my family owns this restaurant, but the older I get, the more people I interact with, I start to notice how big of an impact that this place has on the community.
Was it always here?
No, the original spot was actually on 29th Street. At that time, they said it was more of the industrial area, which is now called Wynwood.
Wynwood.
Yeah.
All right, tell me a little bit about the food. So tell everybody about Jamaican patties, because I think some people have never actually tasted Jamaican patty. You know, I make empanadas because I'm Argentinian.
Similar.
But similar but not, right? So the dough is really different. The fillings are different. Tell me a little bit about patties, and then I'm really excited to try the jerk. Oh my God, the jerk is delicious.
Thank you.
Ooh.
You should try the oxtail.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
And I want this all to myself. I love oxtail. So these patties can be filled with a variety of things, right?
Yes. So beef is traditional. Everybody knows Jamaican patties to be beef patties, but you can go all across the board with it.
So what part of Jamaica is your family from?
St. Anne's. So it's a little town called Monique. Very family-based. Everybody knows each other. I went to Jamaica maybe 2-3 months ago.
You still have family there?
Of course.
Yeah.
So I went to go visit them.
Do they love that y'all are representing?
Yes, of course.
That's great. You must have been one of the first Jamaican restaurants in town, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because there are some Jamaican restaurants that I've been going to my whole life here in Miami. But this, I think, is one of the first ones.
From 1975.
Wow.
Yeah, 50 years in.
Always your
It's a
grandma?
long time. Yeah. When they first started, it was literally just the two of them, one in the front, one in the back. And they ran that place for years like that.
What a testament to her.
Yeah.
And the fact that, you know, she has now employed your whole family through
Yes.
this one restaurant.
Yep.
And what foresight, right?
Yeah. We actually went from having that location down there, and then this location got opened in the early 2000s.
Let me ask you though, I see a lot of people taking out as well.
Yeah.
That must be a really big business.
Yes. The takeout was the only part of the restaurant.
Okay.
We ended up opening this whole thing up renovating, you know, going through the whole shebang.
Right.
And turned this into the dining spot.
So it's a full-service restaurant, but it still has the takeout.
Still has takeout.
This oxtail is really special. I'd love to ask Grandma what she does, but I have a feeling she's not going to tell me.
She's going to tell you she put her foot in it.
Oh, then I am not going to ask. Okay. This is beautiful. Thank you so much.
Miami's historic Overtown neighborhood was once known as the Black Harlem of the South. In 1946, Jesse and Demas Jaxson came to the neighborhood and pioneered the soul food identity that's still known for today. The walls of Jackson's soul food tell the story of community's heritage and resilience. When you walk into Jackson's, you immediately feel like part of their extended family. If only these walls could talk.
So those pictures are older.
Yeah, all of these pictures are older. There's a lot of celebrity. That's our celebrity wall. This is the family wall. Our family's been in the food industry forever. It's a part of our day-to-day life, still to this day, and I hope
in
it'll
your
be a part of
DNA.
it. It is.
It truly is.
Absolutely. My name is Cartonisha Jennings. I'm fourth generation Jaxson Soul Food legacy. Our family has been serving the Overtown area since 1946.
My name is Taurus Ingram, Jaxson Soul Food manager, overseer, just a partaker.
My grandparents started serving in the community years and years ago. Our family always had a strong history in food. My grandfather is from Georgia. My grandmother is from Wildwood. So as you know, that's the country. We have the trees, they're growing their own crops, they're doing all those things. My family came here to Florida and started the legacy of all the restaurants. Everything homemade, everything cheap, everything affordable for the neighborhoods. We also employed a lot of the neighborhood people. That's how the legacy started in Overtown.
Food is a traditional thing that brings people together. So with some great oxtail, great grits, eggs, it always makes you happy having a conversation over it. They sweat their heart out, blood, sweat, and tears into the kitchen, into serving the community and to be connected. So that's the best thing they had always, the connection with the people, how they treated them, to make them come back.
When they came to Overtown, back then, blacks couldn't go to the other areas and open restaurants. So this is where all the black musicians, all the black actors, actresses, this is where everyone came to eat. They came Overtown. So this was the perfect place to build a food legacy.
There's not a lot of black-owned business still staying afloat, especially mom and pops. So it means a lot by us still here 40-something years on the corner, and we've been all over, second, third. So my uncle came, my grandmother, my grandfather, and my mother came on this corner and then made it right for the community still to stand tall and stay strong in Overtown.
Food kind of defines the migration of black families. These are down south traditions, homemade biscuits. A lot of times you go to a lot of restaurants that's Georgia and down, they have fresh biscuits. They have the gravy, you know, things that make people feel whole. And I think that like I said, the legacy still continues.
In the kitchen today, I'm meeting with Chef Garmani Samuels, better known as Chef G. Chef G.
How you doing, Chef Bernstein? Nice to finally meet you.
It's such a pleasure. Thank you for inviting us into your kitchen.
Definitely, anytime for a fellow grad.
We both went to the
Johnson
same.
and Wells.
That's right, the same culinary school, which I
Definitely.
love.
Her and Chef Emerald.
That's
which
right.
I love, yep.
That's right.
That's
Emerald
right.
went there too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. We're the three of us, the three famous graduates from
Miami.
Johnson. So what are you gonna make for us now?
I came up with this. Is my take. Basically, my shrimp sauce is a take on lobster bits.
Okay.
Instead of putting the tomato, I just kept it a little bit. I put cream instead
Okay.
of putting tomato paste in
Okay.
it. So that's my little take on lobster bits.
All
It
right.
actually became one of our best dish.
What do you call it?
Shrimp and grits. It's basically
Shrimp-
our shrimp
oh,
and grits.
shrimp
It's just
grits.
Jaxson shrimp and grits.
Okay.
But ours served with a cream sauce.
Okay.
I call it a little cream sauce. You know how it is.
Creme.
You know, you gotta give it a little.
You're getting fancy.
Fancy, gotta give it a little
Okay,
name. Creme,
all right.
you know, but It's something, just a little taste, you know, bring them up, get your palates rocking.
Sure.
You can't miss it. I mean, it hits every note. Hit every note that you need.
Well, I'm excited to try it.
So we're gonna start off.
Let's get in.
Let's fire up this stove real quick. A little bit. It's simple. It's a very simple recipe. Put a little bit of grease in the pan. Let it get hot.
I love that you call that grease.
So we're gonna take our onions.
Start with the onions?
Start with the onions.
Okay.
The pan is very hot. You're gonna start seeing a little bit of flame. You know, see the smoke? The smoke is okay. Add in your peppers and your onions. Let that go on. Get a little bit of flame on there. It's okay. Turn down your flame. Just you wanna get that little bit of lucid. You'll see what I mean. A little bit of color on there before you add in the shrimp. So as you see, we get is a little bit is where we needed to get right now. A little bit of color on my onions and peppers. Easy, like I said, simple dish. Throw it in there. Maybe add a little bit of simple more grease. So like we're
ready, right?
We're ready.
Okay.
We're ready to plate now.
All right.
So I'm gonna slide real quick. Let me get my grits.
You go get your grits.
I'll be right back.
I'll be right here. I'm not gonna eat any of this.
So you know we're gonna plate now. Simple plating. Now what we have here is, like I said, my shrimp sauce.
Okay.
Is my take on lobster bisque.
I love it.
I feel as though lobster bisque is very warm. I haven't met anybody that eat lobster bisque that doesn't like it. I mean, it's very warming. On a nice chilly night, I'm from New Jersey, by the way.
It's for the soul.
Exactly. On a nice warm night, cold, you can't beat it.
I don't care if it's 90 degrees outside. I'll have lobster bisque or your shrimp bisque, by the way.
Thank you. I got to come up with a name for it. So basically, just simple.
You pour it in, or do you pour it over it?
Me, I'm a showman. I like to just put it on there in the middle of my grits.
Okay.
And then I let my shrimp do all my work for me.
Wow.
Put this all to the side.
I wish that we could encapsulate the smell in here. It smells so
man,
good.
I try, you know. Usually, you know, but for the show, I'ma just do it like this. You know, usually and me, like I said, I'm simple. I just like to throw it on top. So people look like, you know, it just came off the stove. It ain't something that was pre-made. You know it just came off the stove. And it's gonna be good. It's gonna be hearty. And this became our #1 dish out of everything. And I love it.
Your pleasure.
Thank you so much, Chef.
Thank you, Chef G.
You're the best.
The legacy, personally, it means to me, it means family. It means my kids. It means something for my kids to call home, even if we're not here. It leaves a footprint in the history of Overtown. It leaves a footprint in the history of Miami, Florida, and hopefully other cities to come.
As a South Florida native, when I think about a restaurant in Legacy, there is one that comes to mind. Whether you've spent your whole life eating there or have never actually walked through its doors, it's an undeniable part of Sobe history. For over a century, Joe's Stone Crab in Miami Beach has been the culinary institution that has set the bar for hospitality, professionalism, and consistency. Welcome to Joe's Stone Crab. So 115 years.
Give or take, yeah.
How does that feel? I mean, what is that like to be the 4th generation of a restaurant that has been open for 115 years?
I'm Steve Saywitz. I'm the 4th generation of Joe's Stone Crab Restaurant. I'm also the COO. I've been working here since 1979, but Joe's goes back all the way to 1913 when my great-grandfather Joe, who had an asthmatic condition in New York, needed to find a warmer climate to live so he could breathe. So his doctor said, well, you can either go to Arizona or you can go to Florida. So he chose Florida. He was a waiter in New York. So he went back to his family, back to his job, and decided to move his family down to South Florida, and then soon thereafter established a restaurant called Joe's Seafood Restaurant. There were signs on the hotels. It was a very racist area, south of 5th Street. There were signs in front of the hotels that said no Jews or dogs allowed. So that must have been a challenge. And he was one of the first Jewish people living down here, running a business. I don't know what it took for him, because I never experienced the way he did, but I would imagine he had to have a tough skin and go to work and be a part of society and keep his, nose to the grindstone and serve people the best he could. And there's always been a welcoming, anybody could dine here type of feeling because of that. I think that was part of the heart and soul of Joe's, was that Joe's would be open to anybody. We live in America, a phenomenal, great country. We live in an incredible city that's surrounded by water. We've been able to embrace the community. I can't tell you how many languages are spoken at Joe's, just among the employees, and how many countries people have come from that work here. I can tell you that there isn't a hemisphere that is not within our reach. We've had people from everywhere, and I think that's part of the American dream.
Okay, this is really exciting. So we are here at Joe's To Go, which is your takeout spot, right next to Joe's. And you are gonna teach me how to properly crack open.
I'm gonna teach you?
Yes, how to properly crack open a stone crab. Yes, of course I know how to crack a stone crab, but I wanna see Joe's, 4th generation crack open a stone crab. I mean, come on, if anybody can do it, it's gotta be you.
Better be me, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so what size is this?
This would be a large on the smaller side.
Okay.
Okay. But what you do is, I like to use a hard surface.
Okay.
Right? And then I take a mallet and I like to use the softer side, not the
So I've
jagged
never
side.
seen a mallet like this with the metal
Wooden
and then the wooden.
This is
is
what
great.
we use,
Okay.
and they work pretty well. And what you want to do, you see the 3 distinct, the 2 knuckles and the
Yep.
main claw part. You want to tap that down a little bit so
that
it
it flattens.
flattens.
Okay.
Right. This is the thinnest shell of the whole. This
Right,
is this
most
is pretty
delicate,
hard.
right?
Yes, very delicate. This
Okay.
is harder, but I'm going to show you a little trick. You don't want to
Barely.
yes, just a little bit.
Okay.
And then the next one, I like to turn it just a little bit to get it centered, right? And then instead of pushing down, you want to
Use the weight of the mallet.
Right.
Not the weight of your hand. Okay.
And then this is the moving part of the claw. That's fixed. You want to hit it right up in there so that when you're eating it, when the customer's eating it, it's easier to twist. And then I hit it right up in there.
Oh, that's perfect.
Right?
Yeah.
And then we put it on the plate.
Do you know what I find fascinating is this little kind of fingerprint.
How did
I've
you
always
know
loved
that?
that because I'm from South Florida.
Yeah, they're all different. And people, my dad and used to tell me about the fingerprint on there. It's like, that is their
fingerprint.
DNA.
It is.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we can catch that in camera, but I find it fascinating that the crabs all have their own fingerprint. And there are these little grooves in here that makes them all, independent and different. And I find it amazing. Wow. Very cool.
They're cool.
Yeah.
You want to crack it?
Okay.
There you go.
I'm gonna try to remember what you said. So,
Tap,
all
tap,
right,
tap,
so tap, tap.
Just keep tapping until you get it in between the 2.
To flatten it up a little bit.
Right.
And then gently.
Perfect. Perfect. Oh, there you go.
There's a juicy one. That is just so great. So this mustard sauce, which by the way, I have, I think, the only cookbook that was ever a Joe's cookbook. And I have been making the mustard sauce since the cookbook came out.
Okay.
And it's the best mustard sauce ever. And I'm gonna enjoy this crab. Oh my goodness. There's nothing like it in the whole world. It's juicy, you can taste the ocean. You can smell the ocean. It's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
All right, I think I'm ready for dessert. Should we go?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Let's go. Ready.
No better way to end my visit than Mom's key lime pie.
Ooh, yeah.
This is
I
very
agree.
exciting.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, I'm excited. So the key lime pie always comes out really beautifully cold, almost icy cold. Yep. I mean, there's nothing you can say.
It's Florida.
I have no words. Perfection. I'm Michelle Bernstein, and this is Legacy on a Plate.
This program was made possible by Friends of South Florida PBS.